What are some of the 10 best off-the-beaten-path destinations in Utah? Well, we're finding out today as we count down with the experts and show some of the spots you need to discover with your family. I'm Stephen Human. Join me as I go from one end of the state to the other and give you the best Utah has to offer. From there, Chad and Rhea continue their 2018 RV safari across Idaho. They're going out of this world at one destination with more adventure than you'd think at first glance. Finally, we'll find out how recreation and education go together. Own the outdoors now with At Your Leisure. Welcome to At Your Leisure, everybody. I'm your host, Stephen Human, and we have a great show for you today. A little bit different than what we usually do. Right behind me, you'll see the Utah State Capitol. Right now, inside that building is the Tourism Conference. All the tourism officials from across the state are in one building to talk about all of the great destinations that exist here in Utah. What we decided to do was to go in there and find the top 10 off-the-beaten-path destinations. We all know about Zion. We know about Bryce. What about the places that we don't know about that are worth exploring? How about you come with me? Let's go inside that building. Let's meet the experts and find out where you should be going next.
So it's Tourism Day on the Hill, first day of the legislative session, and we're celebrating what a huge contributor tourism is to the state economy. So the tax relief per household in Utah, $1,200. If we didn't have a tourism economy, every household in Utah would have to generate $1,200 more in taxes. One of my favorite places is White Rim Trail in Canyonlands National Park. The trail is an old uranium jeep road, and so it's pretty accessible. The sandstone formations, the cliffs, the miles and miles of endless wide open spaces, it's just a transcendent experience.
If you're looking for a national park experience, but maybe don't want the crowds or even the expense of the admission of, $30, I would go to Cedar Breaks National Monument. It's very similar to Bryce Canyon, but it's smaller, it's more intimate. They have lots of rangers on staff. You can go on hikes with them. You can go on geology talks at night. They do star programs.
Goblin Valley is one of my favorite places. It's a state park, so it's somewhat popular, but it's so fun, especially if you have kids, play hide and seek and the goblins.
Through the eyes of a child, where you're allowed to go off trail because there really aren't any trails in the valley. And you can see your kids and they get this like, I can run over here and I can run over there and I can do this. And they can explore and they can have that self-discovery. And I think we need a little bit more of that where we can say, explore on your own.
The trail system in Beaver County. And the reason why I say that is lesser known. It's right on the way down. A lot of us will be traveling this summer, this early springtime to southern Utah. Beaver County is one of those hidden gems that a lot of people overlook on their way down south.
We have the most spectacular sightseeing, but in addition to that, I love our off-the-beaten-path foodie tours. We've got, Bear Lake raspberry shakes. In Logan, we've got Cafe Ibis making coffee. It's not just green jello and fry sauce in Utah. One of our biggest food scenes is bean to bar chocolate. We have 9 bean to bar chocolate makers in the state. It's the highest concentration of anywhere in the U.S. You can go to Caputo's Deli downtown Salt Lake and try any chocolate bar you want. All throughout the state, we've got these unheard of food destinations as well.
Well, there's our first 5 off-the-beaten-path destinations for today's show. We're going to catch the other 5 a little bit later, but I just got to say, it's been really interesting being here at the Capitol, talking to all of these people about all the places that have inspired them and that have helped them to have a greater appreciation of this state. And of course, as we go off to our travel adventure, we're leaving the state. We're going to leave Utah. We're heading north to Idaho because we are in the middle of the RV safari, so why don't we catch up with Chad and Rhea?
What's black and dirty and bumpy all over?
Lava field
exactly.
that we're standing in.
That's true. Hi, we are continuing our Ray City RV Safari series across Idaho. Today, we are taking you to the Craters of the Moon National Monument. We are starting our tour inside the Indian Tunnel which is the biggest lava tube I've ever been in, and it's for Ria's sake. She's claustrophobic. It's got skylights all the way through it.
Yeah, it's no big deal because you can see light at the end of the tunnel, literally.
Yeah. So this is only the tip of the subterranean cavern here. Let's find out a little bit more about the park.
Craters of the Moon is a basaltic lava field that was established as a national monument in 1924 to protect and preserve this volcanic landscape. We have lava flows here that range from about 15,000 years old to most recent, about 2,000 years old. The size of the monument and preserve today is just over 750,000 acres, which is probably hard to relate to for most people, but that's about the size of Rhode Island.
A lot of people come here saying that it's just a pile of black rock. But there's actually a lot of really interesting vegetation and diversity that you'll be seeing on our park. You'll see some really well-preserved sagebrush steppe, as well as some really awesome rocky lava formations ranging from ropey, smooth pahoehoe to really rough-looking lava. We have a lot of cool cinder cones and lava tube caves to explore on trails and things like that.
You know, I'm going to be honest. I was firmly in the it's just a pile of black rock camp when we arrived. I couldn't imagine you could find anything interesting at Craters of the Moon. But I was proven way wrong, almost immediately. From the moment you arrive, you actually feel like you've been transported to another world.
Well, basically, how all of this lava got here is about 16 million years ago, a volcanic hotspot started moving east below the crust of the Earth, erupting from time to time and smoothing out what we know today as the Snake River Valley. Literally, this hotspot melted a flat swath across the Rockies and is currently what fuels Yellowstone National Park's geologic activity.
But not all the history here is prehistoric. During the space race of the 60s and the early 70s, Craters of the Moon actually became a real-life astronaut research facility.
Apollo 14 did come to Craters of the Moon to learn more about basalt volcanoes and get an idea of how the landscape at Craters of the Moon could be similar to that of the actual moon.
Well, we decided to follow in the footsteps of NASA and do a little exploring, which was eye-opening to say the least.
We stopped first at the spatter cones, which are remnants of miniature volcanoes formed where large blobs of lava were spit into the air during an eruption a mere 2,000 years ago. Hiking trails took us through the landscape and into the cones themselves, where you could look down on glacial ice that is a permanent fixture of these deep holes, even through the hottest summer months.
You know, Craters of the Moon really is a hiker's dream, and that's particularly true for the kids. Once we made our way down into the Indian Tunnel, it was free rein for climbing and exploring, of which they took full advantage. Now, some of the areas are open for cross-country excursions, while others are not, so you'll want to be familiar with where you're going so you don't get off the trail in dangerous spots. Stay on the paths unless posted otherwise.
And while you're out here, there's so much to learn. Once you have a good idea of the history of the area, your experience becomes even richer.
The thing I enjoy most about being a ranger is being able to teach and see people learn in a national park. I feel like these places are almost like living laboratories in a way, or really good extensions of classrooms, and offer relevant learning experiences to people of all ages.
Craters of the Moon is perfect for an RV trip because they have motorhome-specific parking areas across the monument, as well as camping spots if you want to use it as a base camp. Bring plenty of water, and you're guaranteed to have a memorable experience with the family.
There's a lot of really cool experiences that you can have that are truly out of this world landscapes. You're not going to find lava that's this wild, I suppose, just on a regular drive. So coming to Craters of the Moon to really understand this landscape is well worth it.
Well, after a hot day, you probably want to end up your story like we did, here in the visitor center, nice and cool, and you can get this nice overview of the 16 million year history of Craters of the Moon.
Yeah, it really is fascinating. You truly feel like you're on another planet when you're out here, and it's just so much to learn.
Well, we are done with our Ray City RV Safari story for today, but not with the series. We'll be back next week with another part of the tales of our adventures, crazy as they may be.
Adventures around every bend, as we say.
That's true. We're going to take a commercial break. We'll be back with more of today's At Your Leisure.
There's a little place on a Utah map where I was raised, where my heart's at, where the sagebrush grows wild and high, and the stars come out at night. the basin with a Ute reservation, skiing starvation, that Duchesne County life.
The boat buying event you've been waiting for.
The Boat Show and Water Sports Expo, February 8th through the 11th.
Great fun for the whole family.
Watch wakeboard pros on the 300-foot rail jam.
Buy the boat of your dreams with special show financing.
Register to win a 5-day Alaskan fishing trip courtesy of RW Fishing.
ABC4 Utah and CW30 invite you to the Boat Show and Water Sports Expo, February 8th through the 11th at the Southtown Expo.
Advance tickets at utahboatshow.com.
Look south to adventure. Look south to beauty. Look south to San Juan County. Out here, the road goes on forever, and what you'll find will change how you see the world. Climb on your OHV and discover forgotten landscapes and vistas that challenge the imagination. From Blanding and Monticello to the cliff faces of Monument Valley, we're open and ready for you to explore. San Juan County, Utah's Canyon Country.
Hey, here's the question of the day for you. You got a young family growing up and you want to grow them up in the outdoors? I've got your answer. It's the Escape 23-foot Bunkhouse by KZ. Bunkhouse because it has a lot of space for people to sleep inside. KZ has spent a lot of time developing a good insulation system in their hybrid wall manufacture. Now in addition, it has a Alumitough roof system on its one-piece aluminum, which gives it great durability and it makes it leak-proof. They actually put nitrogen in the tires, which makes them run a lot cooler in the summer and gives them a durability that you may not find otherwise. Well, there's a lot to see on the inside for a value-priced trailer, and it's time that we go there. Come on. Okay, so I said this 23-footer sleeps 8, so your first instinct would say, gosh, it's got to be pretty crowded inside. But take a look, it actually has a lot of space. Part of it's due to this one gear-driven slide that sits on this side of the trailer. Mom and Dad have this front area for the master bed. You have a couch here that is a double fold-out, which slides down. Your dinette converts into 2 beds, and then spin around and take a look at the bunks behind you. KZ employs a one-piece laminate countertop on all their tables and countertops, which means that it is not susceptible to water creeping in and separating the lamination. In addition to that, they use all plywood construction on the sides, in the cabinets, underneath the counters, and they use a tongue and groove system, which means that they lock in so they can't warp and pop out. So you'll always have nice straight surfaces inside the KZ trailers. Like all the other KZ units we've looked at, it has an advanced entertainment system that has a Bluetooth and an NFC way to connect. It has indoor and outdoor speakers. Now for a trailer of this size, they have put a lot of thought into what to do with the bathroom, particularly if you are traveling as a family. This unit has a tub across the back end of the bathroom that allows you to take a shower and to bathe the little kids. It's a great way to keep all that splashy water contained. Of course, if you're traveling with a big family, they got a big food requirement. No skimping on the refrigerator. This is a full-size RV fridge or freezer. They do have air conditioning, so those visits to the campground are comfortable. So let's do the math on this. You're traveling with a family of 8, you get a motel room, $75 a piece, that's $150 a night. Well, that's right about where a monthly payment's going to start on this unit, because they have them on sale right now for $22,500. So basically, for one night stay in a motel, your family can have 1 month on the road. Which would you rather have? I'm Chad Booth for this week's product review for Ray City RV. We'll be back with more of At Your Leisure in just a minute.
Introducing the lightweight shot starter. Only on the 2018 Ski-Doo mountain sleds. With next generation engine and platform. For the unmatched power and handling to own the next ride. Ski-Doo. What matters is what's next.
Save up to $1,000 plus 0% for 36 months.
In a place that is beyond words, there is nothing to be said, except take your time in Bryce Canyon Country.
Too often we find ourselves in shoes like these, or these. Wouldn't it be nice to change into something more like this, or this? How about these? Put on whatever shoes you prefer and come to Beaver County. We have exactly the adventure you need to put under them. So the next time you want to change out of these, come to Beaver County where you can jump into a pair of these. Beaver County, Utah. Lace up for adventure.
Family time, friend time, your time. You've been thinking about getting a machine, but which one is right for you? An ATV, side-by-side, or dirt bike? Stedman's Recreation has Utah's largest selection of Honda, Polaris, Yamaha, and Beta machines. See them all at Stedman's Recreation in Tooele. Need a tune-up, new tires, or want a winch? Stedman's Service Department can help.
Stedman's Recreation in Tooele. You may think it's 300 miles out here, but remember, it's only 30 miles back.
Welcome back to At Your Leisure, everybody. I'm Stephen Human, and we're having a great time finding out about the top 10 lesser-known destinations in the state of Utah. You know about Zion National Park, you know about Bryce, but we're talking about those hidden gems that you may have heard of, you may not have heard of, but they're definitely worth you and your family exploring. Now, right now, I'm on the shores of the Great Salt Lake, one of the most iconic destinations in the state of Utah. But we've been spending most of our time at the state capitol talking to tourism directors. We're going to be talking to the governor himself to find out about their personal favorites and where you should be planning your next trip with your family. Well, we started the show, we talked about the top 5. Now we're going to hit the next 5 in our top 10.
You know, I used to love to go up what was called South Fork, up Provo Canyon. I used to go up there fishing, the little streams up there, and hike in the backcountry there. Again, that was something just close. That's something that we probably take too much for granted here in Utah. You can just be 20 or 30 minutes away from some spectacular country you can drive to, get out of your car and start hiking.
Gooseneck State Park, that is going for dark sky designation. And what dark sky is, for folks that don't know, is that human beings create a lot of light pollution by aiming our lights upward, right? Places like our state parks are becoming the last refuges to see beautiful starry nights. It's also a great primitive camping spot with a great overlook, but it is one of our most gorgeous, out-of-the-way places. Stunning dark sky, stunning vistas in the day, great hiking, great biking around there.
When you drive Highway 12, you're gonna go from high elevation, thick forest area, beautiful green all over, and within 20 minutes you drop down into Red Rock, and it's gorgeous. It's a drive that I took my family on. It was a long way to get to Bryce Canyon. It adds another 2 hours, but it was so worth it going through that way because my kids loved every minute of it.
Certainly Starvation State Park is one of my personal favorites, right on Highway 40, 1 hour from Heber. Generally, always got availability, a beautiful lake, wonderful sand for that beach experience, great boating, and amenities right in Duchesne City.
The Henry Mountains, in around that particular complex, just outside of Hanksville area. You got Factory Butte, just a great location, and also with that you have that free roaming bison herd that exists down there. So some people are probably aware of it, but it is kind of off the beaten path type trail system.
We have places that are worth visiting and enjoying that are not a park of any kind, meaning they're not a national park, they're not a state park, they're not they're just beautiful parts of Utah's public lands. So there's plenty of opportunities to go out there and pitch a tent, hike a trail, and enjoy the mountains and the beauty of nature in Utah on its 36 million acres of public land.
And there you go, the last 5 of the top 10 off the beaten path destinations in Utah. Each one is worth a visit. Take your family out and explore. Now, right now, I am at City Creek Canyon, just north of downtown Salt Lake. Now, this didn't make our list, but it is a really great spot. They actually close it to traffic every other day, so you can come up here, ride your bikes, play around with your dogs, and just explore. It's a great urban destination. Well, now we have to go off to our trailhead adventure, brought to you by Rocky Mountain ATV MC. It's a great place to go and get all of your riding accessories and things like that. Well, we often think of education as going to a classroom, but sometimes you'll learn more in the outdoors than you ever would have thought, and we're going to show you one program that proves it.
Reading, writing, and arithmetic, the supposed 3 R's of American education. Normally, they boil down to sitting at a desk, leafing through books while listening to lectures. But over the past few years, a movement of sorts has started to change those parameters. Outdoor exploration has always been viewed as merely a form of recreation, not education. Recently, however, programs across the country have been experimenting with pairing a child's natural curiosity and desire to learn with outdoor fun. The results have been surprising, and in Utah, Kelly Erickson is helping to lead the charge.
I wanted to find a way to get my kids connected to nature because I felt like when we go to museums or zoos or just going out and you go on a hike, it was never about like really stopping and looking at things and really paying attention to what's going on. It was never about that. It's just like hurry and get from A to B. And so the idea is to get us to stop and to connect. It's all about connection. So that's what we're doing here, is we are connecting kids to nature and ourselves to nature. I am not an expert. We're learning together.
Kelly started Outdoor Adventure Kids Utah with her own children and started inviting other families to join. Every Tuesday, they meet at a different local park with the basic goal of exploring and letting the kids discover the natural world. Kelly acts as mentor, but the kids learn and inquire on their own.
That's the whole idea, is we're trying to get kids to ask questions. If they ask the question and you let them own that question, it's going to become theirs. They're going to have ownership over it. If I'm asking the questions to them and they are not thinking of anything themselves, it's just going to go in and go out, which is not what we want here. What we do is we get together, we have the kids play a nature game, and then we give them a chance to have the freedom to go out and see what they see. And it's amazing what the kids come back with.
My favorite part about that experience when the kids go and wander on their own is that they're exercising their own brain, that they're finding something and they're asking questions about that something and they're exploring to get answers. When they're having fun and with their friends and exploring, it's endless learning opportunities.
The natural classroom teaches each child about the different animals, trees, and water features, whatever catches their eye. They learn public speaking techniques as they gather to discuss what they've seen and heard. Every aspect of the environment lends itself to the education process and changes how the kids see their world, not only during the sessions, but throughout the rest of their day.
The benefits have been, I don't know if I can quantify what I'm seeing. They're noticing skills when we're driving in the car. They're looking out. They're looking out the windows. They'll yell, I see it, whatever, I see this, or whatever. I'm like, Mom, look at that. And they're much more excited about things. They talk to each other. They interact with each other. When we go to the park and we're playing, they start their own games now because they know how to do it because we're practicing it here.
And the learning environment isn't hard to find either. You'd think that in order for the kids to have a true experience, they'd need to go far from civilization, but that isn't the case at all. The parks are in the heart of neighborhoods and urban landscapes, but even so, traces of wildlife litter the grounds, and the boys and girls seem to find every track and hidden den. Their curiosity inspires the adults and helps remind all of us that when it comes to the outdoors, there's always something to learn. Luckily, in this case, everyone is invited to come along for the experience.
We have a Facebook page. Our group is called Outdoor Adventure Kids Utah. Anybody is always welcome to join us. There's no criteria for membership. It's open. We meet every Tuesday afternoon, 1 to 3. It doesn't cost any money.
Our connection as a family, it's so much stronger when you're with each other and you're uninterrupted. There's no screens involved. There's no distractions. You're outside and you can really connect on a deeper level than you can anywhere else.
The more we connect with nature, we connect with each other and we have that happiness inside.
Education can be about more than just facts and figures, and our excursions into the outdoors can be about more than just recreation. From the trailhead, I'm Milia Stringham.
Our Trailhead segment today is sponsored by Rocky Mountain ATV MC. That's that great place where you can order all kinds of accessories for your ATV or your motorcycles, and they'll ship it right to your door. Just go to the RockyMountainATVMC.com website.
Meet the new leader in off-road utility, the completely reinvented Ranger XP 1000. It's got the most power, the largest towing capacity, the highest ground clearance, and the best comfort and storage. Introducing the all-new Polaris Ranger XP 1000, the hardest working, smoothest riding Ranger ever built.
Hey, here's the question of the day for you. You got a young family growing up and you want to grow them up in the outdoors? I've got your answer.
I am so glad that when my daughters were young, we made the choice to get an RV.
This is a great way to get your family outdoors permanently. You can actually put a family of 6 to 8 people and travel comfortably, and it's affordable.
Make those dreams with your young family at Ray City RV, Utah's low-price RV dealer on Riverdale Road in Roy.
Welcome back to At Your Leisure, everybody. This has been so much fun today, finding out about 10 of the best off the beaten path destinations in Utah. Now, I'm sure that you guys out there have a ton of your own, and we'd like for you to share them with us. Go on Facebook, email us, and tell us about those secret spots that you love and that you'd like to share with everybody. Please don't keep them secret. We all want to be able to experience the beauty of this state. Well, now we've got our upcoming events to talk about, and the big ones are, of course, the boat show and the RV show. The boat show is going on February 8th through the 11th, and the RV show is going on the 15th through the 18th. Both of these are at the Southtown Expo Center. We at Your Leisure are going to be at both shows down at the Southtown Expo Center. So we want you to come up and talk to us. Say hi, pick up an AYL sticker. Tell us what your favorite episode was or places that you'd like for us to go. We'd love to hear from you. Now we've got this week's giveaway winner, Jay Ombach. You can see right there, there he is, pointing out his AYL sticker. Jay, you are the winner of a family 4-pack to Fast Carts, where you can race as fast as you want on some of the best tracks in Utah. So Jay, call us at 801-947-8888 to claim your prize, and the rest of you guys get your AYL stickers, any of our sponsors, or of course at the Boat and RV show. Now, how about we take a look at next week's show?
In 7 days, the 2018 RV Safari continues as Rhea and I ATV some of the most incredible landscapes in Idaho and meet one man who has a deep love of public access and his family's Western heritage. From there, Stephen will be hitting the trail in southern Nevada, finding there is more to these desert lands than just dirt and sage.
We're gonna have so much fun next week as we hit a little bit warmer weather down in Nevada, and we hope that you'll join us. But today has been so much fun as we've been able to just experience all of these little hidden gems around the state. And since we've been finding out about some of these lesser known areas, we decided to end at some of the best known. We're gonna hit the slopes on the greatest snow on earth. Well, I'm Stephen Human for At Your Leisure. Remember, there's adventure out there wherever you look. You just need to go out and create your own at your leisure. Find out about the next 5 of the top 10. Oh, dude. The next 5? Yeah. Utah is a great Utah destination for when you're coming to Utah.
You're killing me.